Rosie Perez, Ella J. Bosco, and Journey Smollett.
Welcome back. Hello. I just found out.
We are also thrilled you are here. Margot,
I just found out that Rosie used to work here.
Yes.
I had no idea.
She's home.
She sang hi to everyone backstage.
Yes.
It's a family reunion backstage.
Well, Margot, you all just walked out to Diamonds from the all-female Birds of Prey soundtrack, which really helped set the scene for such a kick-ass girl power film. I saw it last week with my husband. We had the best time. I loved it so much. I'm going to go see it again with my 13-year-old little girl. You star as Harley Quinn, and you're also a producer. Why did you want to bring this film to life? Because it was so good.
Thank you.
So much fun.
No, we're so proud of it. And we had a lot of fun making it, so I'm glad you had fun watching it. We want people to walk out feeling, pumped up, excited. But no, it's been in the making for a long time. When I was still shooting Suicide Squad the first time, that's when I originally pitched the idea. And through researching Harley, there was so many more amazing female characters in the DC universe that we hadn't seen on screen. And Birds of Prey was a particular offshoot of the comics that I fell in love with. So I just wanted a girl gang action film on screen.
Wow.
We didn't have one.
No, we didn't have one.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. So you've been part of View family since you were co-host here, and we always happy to have. Look, what is this? What is this? Forget all that. It's really good to see you. And it's thrilling to see you in this movie. Thrilling to see you in this movie in particular, because you play Detective Renee Montoya in the film, and she, like you, doesn't take any poo. So, is that why you loved her? What made you say yes? All those questions. You know the question.
Yes.
How'd you do it? How did it happen?
Well, the director gave me a call and asked me if I would be interested, and I said, yeah, and, I am a woman of a certain age now.
Are you?
Yes, I still
You don't look
good.
it.
Thank you. I just, convinced Warner Brothers, and they said, welcome to the DC family. And that was a great, great honor. And I wanted to play Renee Montoya, not only to represent a Latina, but also to represent a strong woman who was tenacious, had a high moral code, but yet was also complicated and flawed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, darling.
You talk about me, girl.
Yeah, and so doing it was difficult because these young bucks, I was like grandma.
Not true.
You held your own. You held your own.
Yeah, she always does.
She held her
There's
own.
never a moment on screen with Rosie Perez where you're not going, go ahead, girl.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And
You held your own.
Same with you, Jay. Just saying.
Well, our next question is for you, Journey, and you play Black Canary, and as her name would suggest, it's a songstress, but at the beginning of the film, she's having a hard time owning her power. Is that something that you related to with the character?
Oh my goodness, there were so many things I related to Black Canary, and in my process of researching the character and going back to the comics and stuff, I just fell in love with her. And yes, in our film, when we meet her, she hasn't yet become the Black Canary that we know her to be. I mean, yes, she's this fierce street fighter, this martial artist, but she's literally hiding her voice. And she has this secret that she's a metahuman. She's got this powerful canary cry. And I had this post-it sticker on my mirror in my trailer, and every day I would look at it because it would remind me of her, and also this, the struggle I think we all kind of go through in wanting to achieve your full potential. And it's this this Alice Walker quote that I had on my mirror. And she says, the most common way we give our power away is by thinking we don't have any. And that's literally like the arc of Canary. Is she has this power, but she's in her own way. And the theme in the film is very much so emancipation. Everyone's being emancipated from something. And with Canary, she's got to be emancipated from herself.
Yes.
Wow.
Ella. So, you are in human years 13 years old.
In human years.
Yes. And you're amazing in the film, and you play Cassandra Cain. Now, is this the first time that character's been portrayed on screen?
Yes, it's the first time that Cassandra Cain has ever been played in any part of film.
And this is your first movie.
Yes, it is.
And so you're sitting around, hanging out at home, and the phone rings, and what happens? What do you hear?
I actually was coming home from school, and my mom and dad had their camera out. They looked so weird. They were like, and my agents were on the phone, and they were videotaping me, and my agent told me, you know, you booked the job. And it was just so emotional for me, and my parents were screaming their heads off for me. And it was super emotional and so unexpected that I'd even be here and part of this whole experience.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Well,
Wow.
congratulations.
Thank you.
What told you I'm an actor? When did you know?
I think I knew by my parents love educating me about different movies over time, and I think really watching like The Goonies and Annie,
So good.
really seeing this big group of kids just having the funnest time, and I think that definitely stood out to me and made me really think that sounds so fun. I want to be a part of that.
Well, welcome. You
Thank you.
certainly doing your thing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, more from the cast of Birds of Prey when we come back.
Stories.
Tomorrow, Alec Baldwin's guest co-hosting. Plus, billion-dollar fashion mogul Jessica Simpson.
We're back with the cast from the film Birds of Prey. We need to talk about the stunts and the fight scenes in this movie, because literally after watching it, I was at my home, like doing karate kicks and stuff. Your characters do so many stunts, and I just learned that y'all did a lot of these yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how intense was that training? Because I can't believe that. I kept on, when I was watching it, I was like, how much do these stunt doubles look like these women?
Well, that's really like the sign of like a great stunt team, and our stunt coordinator and team 8711, their job was to get us in shape so that we could do all our own stunts. And there's always like an exception here and there where it's something insanely dangerous that you really shouldn't do. But we did most of our own stunts. We started training a couple months before shooting, kept training throughout shooting, and stunts are the funnest bit. You don't want to give it away.
I mean, Rosie's like punching people. And that's her. Journey's like doing kicks and stuff. I could not believe it.
No, that's not no.
You're like
And you're terrific in
pickpocketing
this,
people.
by the way.
It was incredible.
Did you know your character is the first lesbian character in the DC universe?
Yes,
Really?
that's right.
Well, Journey, you've been acting since you were a little girl, and you were on the original Full House and the sitcom On Our Own Sibling. How have you seen the industry change over that time?
How have I seen the industry change? You know, I've seen it. I think I'm just incredibly excited about the time we're in right now. You know, I don't know that a film like this, an R-rated comic book, girl gang action flick, could have existed just a few years ago.
Wow.
And I think there's so many people who are hungry to see the world reflected on screen finally. And they're hungry to see more eclectic stories told. And I'm also excited because there's so many more filmmakers who are just like, I'm not going to ask for a seat at the table. I'm just going to build my own damn table.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've got people like Margot who are getting behind the camera and producing. So I'm excited about the new era that we're ushering in because we're just seeing more stories being told.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Ms. Ella and Journey, do you two talk about what it's like to do? This is a question I'm not going to ask.
Okay.
Well, I'll move on.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, Rosie, we're sitting here talking about women and the power of women, and you just did something that I think is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You went to court to testify on behalf of Annabella Sciorra in the Harvey Weinstein trial. So
Yeah.
I know, pretty amazing. How did it feel to support your friend in that moment? I can't imagine.
Well, I'm not legally. I'm not at liberty to talk about an ongoing case, as Sonny, you know. What I can say is that when a friend needs you,
Yeah.
you hope someone's there.
Yeah.
And
I
and she's my
understand.
friend.
Yeah. Well, we all here at The View support you and Annabella and have been watching the case very closely and have made our own conclusions. That being said, I have to give this legal note. Weinstein has pleaded not guilty in all charges and has denied all allegations of non-consensual sex.
Yeah, okay. What else?
All right. So, Margot, the Academy Awards are this weekend, and you're nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Bombshell. You were amazing. You played Kayla, who represents an amalgamation of women's experiences, right, with Roger Ailes. What does it mean to represent those women and their stories? Because, I mean...
You're representing me.
Yeah.
I worked in Fox during that time.
Oh,
And,
wow.
I've just, your performance was incredible in that one scene where you're twirling.
Thanks.
You know, I prosecuted sex crimes.
Yeah.
And I felt that.
Do you know what was fascinating about that scene and what I feel like the best thing in my mind that can come out of this movie, and even awards recognition, because that always means more people are going to go see the movie, is that guys have come up to me afterwards and said, I felt like I felt like I was in her shoes, like a teeny bit of me knew what it felt like to be in that position.
How they got his office as perfect as they did. When I watched it, it was eerie.
Yeah.
Furniture, everything.
I mean, the amount of research they did was incredible in replicating it. And Charles Randolph, who wrote it, and who wrote The Big Short, like he when he explores an issue, he explores every nook and cranny of it. And they spoke to hundreds of people, particularly women that worked at Fox, and it was, it was quite a journey being a part of that film. But for me, the most rewarding thing is when men have watched it and felt like they have empathy for someone who's been in that position.
Wow.
I think that's important because we're not going to fix this on our own. It's not a problem for women to fix. It's something we all have to do together. And it's, you know, I want the guys to watch this film as much as the girls.
Congratulations. Well done. There's often some level of criticism launched towards what women wear, be it in real life or screen or even at the Super Bowl halftime show, as it was this week, oddly enough. Rosie, how did that impact the amazing costumes you all wore in this film? Because I thought they were amazing, quite frankly.
Look at that.
Look at that. They were great.
We had our costume designer, Erin, is just the coolest woman on the planet. And we all, obviously, the costumes, for those who know the comics, can see the bits that have been pulled, like paying homage to the characters, whether it's fishnets or the color palette for Black Canary and so on and so forth, the diamonds for Harley. But we also wanted to wear something practical that we could fight in, because we had to fight a lot. You know, we added a moment in the film where you where you have to tie your hair back because no one can do a fight scene with hair in your face. So it was like stuff like that. It was distinctly a female influence.
All right, well, thank you. Our thanks to Margot Robbie, Rosie Perez, Journey Smollett-Bell, and Ella J. Bosco. Birds of Prey is in theaters Friday, February 7th. Go watch it. Birds of Prey, the album gets released that day. And members of our studio audience,